welcome to Hasty Vegan. I'm Shayla and thank you so much for tuning in today. This episode is going to be different than anything that I've made thus far, and that's because it includes juicing. I kind of decided to do a juice cleanse, and so I kind of want to, it's already over, but I want to walk you guys through like what I did and then walk you through the juice, the main juice that I drank, and make it for you guys because I still drink it. So let me just talk about it. So first off, I watched a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and I encourage you guys to watch it. If you watch my last episode, I was talking about the benefits of certain herbs and certain veggies in my little corn pancakes. And so I believe in the healing nature of food. I believe, you know, celery and all these things, they have benefits. And I mentioned my cookbook and all that stuff and how it was kind of educating me on some of the benefits. But in this documentary, a man named Joe Cross, he has an autoimmune disease, and he decides to drink specifically this one juice predominantly, like 90% of the time or something like that, most of the time, for 60 days. I only did 5. I initially set out to do 7. However, I ended up going 5, and I felt like I could have gone 6, but I hit something that I wanted to celebrate, so I cut it short, which I'm just, again, doing it for the benefits. I don't have any disease or anything like that, so it was fine. But I encourage you guys to try it out. Watch the documentary, and especially if you've got something going on in your body. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but just, you know, there's testimony after testimony, not even just this documentary, other testimonies that I have seen and heard of, people with stage 4 cancer just going on a straight juice diet and being cured of that, without medicines, without chemo, etc. Again, I'm not a doctor, so disclaimer out there, I'm not trying to do all that, but I believe in the healing power of the Word, the Bible, Jesus Christ. But I also believe that there's food and nutrients for us that that God gave us to literally heal our bodies. Like, our bodies were meant to heal themselves. That's why, you know, why you get a scratch and it heals itself. You know, we can aid it in certain ways. But anyways, so I made 2 main juices. I tried a few other juices that were not my favorite, but this is the main one. This one's called Mean Green, and so it is. I'm making 2 batches of this because that's about how much I drank in a day. But it's. And the normal recipe for 16 ounces is 4 stalks of celery. Some of my celery was a little larger, if you know, depending on how you buy it. This one I bought pre-cut. The original recipe calls for 8 stalks or 8 leaves, excuse me, of kale. Depending on what you want to do, I know sometimes I did 4, sometimes I did 8. If I was running a little low and I wanted to make it last, I only did 4. 1 cucumber, and then 2 green apples, 1 lemon, and ginger. Now, the ginger's what got me. I like zested ginger, grated ginger. I like ginger seasoning and all that kind of stuff, but juiced ginger is potent. It is very potent. So, day 1, we travel. I decided to start on a Friday, and I did that because, you know, you hear about, oh, you're gonna crash. So what I did is I went ahead and the week of just made sure I was not eating a lot of bread. The week before I had eaten a ton of bread. So leading up to the day, I was like, look, I'm just gonna eat salads, just, you know, whole veggies, things like that, to make sure that I just minimize that. And the second thing that was on my mind was about caffeine, because I was taking pre-workout to work out. I was, you know, I just in the afternoon, just for a little pick-me-up or something like that, I drank some coffee. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to go through any like withdrawals from coffee. So I decided to go ahead and just start limiting that and cutting that out. So my last day of drinking any type of caffeine was Wednesday. Thursday was completely caffeine free, and then Friday was the day that I started. So I decided to start it on the day that we travel. We travel to Branson, Missouri every single Friday for a church, Worship Revival Church, calling you guys out.
Good morning, Hasty Vegan family. I'm just tuning in today. This is going to be a special little series that I'm doing here because I'm going on a juice cleanse. So this is going to be a little bit different than obviously my normal content, which is not juice. But I figured this would be something to take you guys on for the ride. It's my very first juice cleanse, so I wanted to just kind of document my experience. So today is day one. I have drank about 16 ounces of juice. I'm feeling actually really energized. As a little background, I did do a little bit of prep of like trying to cut out bread and minimize coffee to limit any crashing that I might have. You know, being vegan, if you're vegan and you eat a lot of veggies already, it shouldn't be an issue. But if you don't and you've been eating a lot of bread, like I've been eating a lot of bread lately, just trying to cut all that stuff out to minimize any crashing or anything like that. So, so I did that. So today's day one, drank juice, feel energized. So that's good to know. So we will see how the rest of the day goes. Today is travel day for me. Every Friday I travel to Branson, Missouri. We have a church up there, Worship Revival Church, worshiprevival.church, if you guys want to check that out. And so I have my cooler full of juices. So I have 4 juices. And I'll probably go over that a little bit later. I don't want to run out of time because I'm picking up people. But yeah, so 4 juices. One's called Mean Green. This is all through Joe Cross. So if you guys want to check out the documentary that kind of led me to wanting to do this, it's Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And it features Joe Cross. And on his website, he has a whole bunch of juicing recipes. So the main one is going to be Mean Green. I have one called Beet-tastic, which is carrot and beets. I took the ginger out of that one just being honest on that. Just because everything else I'm drinking has that. I have one that's like a hydrate, has ginger, probably has turmeric. One of them has turmeric. And then there's one that's like a carrot limeade. So we'll see, and I'll give you guys honest opinions on my thoughts and how this progresses.
So day one, I decided that I wanted to kind of try out a few juices. So the juices that I made was a hydrate. So it's not much different than this. It doesn't have the kale, I believe, but it has pineapple and watermelon. It has a little bit of extra sugar and kind of mimics, you know, a little bit of extra energy boost. You could do it as like a pre-workout, was kind of my thought. Then this was my main course here, was the Mean Green. And then I also made a beet and carrot juice because beets, they help with the recovery of muscles, and carrots are just really good for you, not just for your eyes. That's what all people think about. But, you know, there are testimonies out there of carrot juice curing cancer. But it's just really good for your body. You know, you don't have to do something just because you're currently sick. You can do it as a preventative. So I also made like this carrot limeade. Was not a fan. I don't know if it was the limes or the ginger, because basically during this point I was like struggling through the Mean Green because it calls for an inch of ginger, and I was like, why is this so terrible? Even as I made it throughout the week, I had put the watermelon and stuff, kind of mixed the Mean Green with like watermelon and pineapple, just be like, throw some sweetness in there, make this taste better, and like the ginger just overrode even that. So I finally figured it out and just kind of cut the ginger to ½ inch instead of a whole inch. But yeah, so then, you know, pretty much after that first initial day, everything was fine, like no crashing. Also, as far as hunger goes, I wasn't really hungry, but I found that I was just drinking constantly. So I got alkaline water and was drinking that, but I found that for the most part, I was just drinking the juices, and then I would get hungry. And like I remember there being one point that I was just really hungry, so I drank, you know, a good 16 ounces and then maybe a little bit more. So I think that, you know, again, it's just juice, so drink as much of it as you need. But I had made plenty. I was like, I'm just gonna make a ton just in case. And that's pretty much how it went throughout the rest of the time. Was, you know, before I knew it, you know, those moments that I get hungry, I'd be like, oh man, like how much longer can I go? And I'd be like, oh, it's day 3. How did it get to day 3 already? You know, I've been drinking, I started drinking just the Mean Green and just the beet/carrot juice, which is called Beet-tastic. I had a little bit of the watermelon and stuff left over, so I did kind of make another hydrate in there, and I might start making that again. But yeah, things went pretty well. You know, I think the biggest thing for me was not just the food was fine, like, and it satisfied me to the point, you know, I could just drink juices and I just wanted to eat. Like, I wanted to eat a burger, I wanted to eat something. So it almost felt like I was on a strict diet, and I wanted to eat, you know. So that was why I was like, man, maybe I can make it to the end of Wednesday, like a day shy of the full 7 days, because I just really wanted to eat. Now that it's post, I will warn, if you are not careful, you're gonna want to eat. Problems with this: one, your stomach is shrunk, so you can't eat as much at one time. So I felt like I was hungry. The second thing was, not only did I feel like I was hungry, I wasn't satisfied with eating the vegan burger that I made. I wasn't satisfied with anything that I had a little bit of fried rice from my celebration dinner. I had some little veggie sushi, and I just was not satisfied until I ate a salad. Literally, I just was like, look, I've got to do something, and I don't want to keep eating rice, and I don't want to keep eating this burger. Like, it's just not, like, I can tell that I'm full, but I'm not satisfied. And so I just literally cut up some kale that I had in the fridge, some lettuce, put a little bit of buffalo sauce and some vegan ranch, and maybe I think some shredded carrots or something like that. And that was it. And I was like, finally. But results, I lost 4 pounds, I think, and I have gained them back. So in an effort to curb that going forward, I've decided to start incorporating these juices into my diet, and in place of snacks, and just trying to make sure I'm go back to like thinking about, okay, what am I eating when I'm actually eating food? But I haven't had coffee since the Wednesday before I started, and which has been about a week and a half. In the mornings, the first thing I do is I drink some of this mean green, and it gives me the energy that I need. And I have these bottles here. These are like bottles from another juice place, because I did have to go buy some juices at one point. So I saved these, and they're 16 ounces, and I travel with these, and I also, it makes it easy to store them, and that way I can just grab them and go to work, etc. So those are really handy to have. You can also get bottles off of Amazon. But yeah, so that is my juice cleanse story, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to know more, comment below about any questions that you guys have, and I'll be sure to answer those. As always, guys, hit that subscribe bell, hit the notification button. It will notify you every single time that I post videos like this and videos of me cooking real food. Until next time.